Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native English Podcast, where learning English is easy, natural, and fun. I'm Sarah.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, guys. It is so wonderful to be here with you all today.
It really is. Okay, John, I just watched the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, and wow, I'm still processing it.
I knew you'd say that. Same here. Like, where do we even start? My brain is literally swinging from building to building right now.
Haha, same. First of all, that opening scene, Peter just standing on top of the building, like thinking about his friends. Something feels different.
Exactly. It's not the usual friendly neighborhood vibe. It's darker, heavier. You can literally feel the weight on him.
Yeah, it's like he's been through everything and now he's starting over again. Brand New Day really hits emotionally.
And did you notice his eyes? Like, the mask lenses were slightly expressive again, that classic Spider-Man feel.
Yes, that gave me chills. And then, boom, action kicks in. The swinging shots? Insane. Like, how do they keep making it look better every time?
I know, right? My heart was racing, especially that moment when he almost falls but then catches himself at the last second.
That scene, wow, it wasn't just action, it felt symbolic, like he's barely holding it together.
Oh, that's deep. I didn't even think of it like that. But yeah, emotionally, he's on the edge.
And can we talk about that mysterious voice in the trailer? Who do you think that is?
That's the big question. Villain, mentor, or something completely unexpected?
I got goosebumps when they said, "You can't outrun who you are, Peter." Like, ouch.
Right? That line hit hard. It's like his past is chasing him no matter what. Exactly. It's like he's saying, no matter what happens, I'm still Spider-Man.
I'm honestly so excited. This doesn't feel like just another superhero movie. It feels personal.
Yeah, emotional, raw, and real. This might be one of the most meaningful Spider-Man stories yet.
All right, guys, tell us, what did you feel watching the trailer? Excitement? Sadness? Goosebumps? Okay, John, let's get back to our show.
Yes, I had my 3 cups of coffee, so I am fully ready. How are you, Sarah?
I am great. I am actually really happy today. I had a lovely morning.
Oh, nice. A good morning really does set the whole day up well, doesn't it?
It does, and that is actually our topic today. We are going to talk about our daily lives, our routines, our habits, the things we do every single day.
Daily routines. Yes, this is a topic that every single person on the planet has something to say about. We all have a day.
Exactly. We all have a morning, an afternoon, and an evening, and the little habits we build around those hours say so much about who we are.
That is true, and some people think routine is a boring word, like, oh, routine, that sounds dull.
Maybe, but I think our routines can actually be very different and very interesting when you really listen to them. Everyone does things a little differently.
I completely agree, and it is perfect for English practice too. We use simple, everyday words to talk about our day, words you actually need in real conversations.
Exactly. But before we get into our day, we have a small request for our wonderful listeners.
Yes, if you are enjoying this podcast and it is helping your English, please click the like button. A big thumbs up means the world to us.
And if you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe so you never miss a new episode.
Yes, subscribing really helps us keep making more content for you. And please share this episode with a friend who is also learning English. Even one friend makes a difference.
Thank you so much. We genuinely love our listeners. Okay, John, daily life. Let us start right at the very beginning, the morning.
Oh no, not the morning.
You do not like mornings?
Sarah, I am not a morning person. Not even a little bit, not even slightly.
Really? Oh, wow. I am absolutely a morning person. I love mornings.
How? Just how? For me, the morning is a real battle. The alarm clock alone is already my enemy.
The alarm clock, yes. What does yours sound like?
It's just loud, very loud. Beep, beep, beep. I wake up and my first thought is, oh no, already? It cannot be morning already.
My alarm is soft music, something gentle that eases me into the day.
That is actually very smart. My alarm is basically an emergency siren.
And when it goes off, do you get up?
No, I press the snooze button immediately.
The snooze button. For how long?
Just 5 more minutes, that's all I ask. Just 5 peaceful minutes.
But is it really 5 minutes?
Sometimes 5 minutes, then maybe 5 more, then perhaps just one more small snooze.
Oh, John. So when do you actually get out of bed?
When I absolutely must. When I look at the clock and it's genuinely late, then I jump out of bed in a panic. I'm late. Everything is rush, rush, rush.
My morning is very different from that. Very, very different.
Tell me everything. I'm curious.
I wake up early, sometimes before the sun is fully up.
Wow, why would anyone do that willingly?
Because I love the quiet. In those early hours, the house is completely still. No notifications, no noise from outside, no cars. It's just me and my thoughts.
That does sound actually peaceful when you describe it that way.
It's genuinely my favorite part of the whole day. And the first thing I do, the most important thing.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes. How did you know?
Because same, the moment my alarm goes off, I'm already thinking about coffee. I go from the bed directly to the coffee machine. That's the whole plan.
How do you take yours?
Strong and black. No milk, no sugar, just pure coffee. The stronger, the better.
I like mine with a little warm milk. It's cozy and gentle. A nice way to start.
That sounds lovely, actually. I drink mine and immediately look at my phone.
Oh no, not the phone first thing.
I know. I check the news, scroll a little, check messages. I can't help it.
I've made a rule for myself. No phone for the first 30 minutes. I sit by the window with my coffee and I just think. Maybe watch the morning outside.
Wow, that is very calm. I should honestly try that. My mornings would probably be much less stressful.
It changes everything. Okay, what about breakfast?
For me, breakfast is very fast because I'm already running late.
What do you eat?
Toast. Just toast with butter. Or if I have an extra 30 seconds, a banana. Very simple, very fast, done.
I like to have a proper breakfast. I eat yogurt with fruit, or sometimes I make eggs.
Eggs. Wow, Sarah. You wake up early, you sit calmly by the window, and you make eggs. You have so much time in the morning.
Well, I wake up early, so I have the time. That's the whole point.
You are making me want to become a morning person, and I don't think that's possible for me.
Okay, after breakfast, we get ready for the day. I take a shower.
Me too. Hot shower?
Hot. Almost too hot, but just right. It's the second thing that wakes me up after coffee.
Same. A hot shower is like a pressing reset button on your brain. And then the difficult part of the morning.
Oh yes, choosing what to wear.
Yes. I open my wardrobe and I have so many things and I always think,
I have nothing to wear.
yes, how is that possible? So many clothes and nothing to wear. It makes no logical sense.
Haha, yes, I know. I used to have this problem, but I fixed it.
How?
I simplified everything, mostly plain shirts in simple colors. Blue, white, gray. I grab one. Done. No thinking required. Thinking is saved for later in the day when it actually matters.
John, that is genuinely smart. A lot of successful people do that, actually. It's a real productivity trend. Remove the small decisions so your brain has energy for the big ones. Exactly. I didn't even realize it was a trend. I just didn't want to think about shirts at 7 in the morning.
Haha, yes, I finally find something to wear, and then it's time to head to work. How do you get there?
I take the bus.
Is it comfortable?
It's okay. It's very crowded in the mornings. So many people all going to the same places.
Oh, I don't love crowded spaces either.
But I put my headphones in and I listen to music or a podcast. It makes the whole journey so much better.
Oh, nice. What kind of podcasts?
Well, sometimes this one. A podcast like this one actually helps the journey go by so fast.
Haha, good choice. I drive to work myself.
Oh, nice. Your own car, your own space?
Yes, but the traffic is something else.
How bad is it?
So many cars all going very slowly. Stop, go, stop, go. It feels like you're barely moving sometimes.
That sounds exhausting, especially in the morning.
It can be, but I put on loud music and sing along, and that honestly makes it much more bearable.
Okay, so we finally make it to work. What does your day work look like?
First thing at my desk, I turn on my computer and, oh, the emails.
Yes, so many emails. How do so many emails arrive overnight?
Haha, I read them, I reply, I help people, I have meetings. It's a busy day, but I genuinely like my work, so it passes.
My day is similar, busy from the start. More coffee around 10 because the first one wore off. Meetings, lots of emails, talking, planning, figuring things out.
What about lunch? This is my personal favorite part of the workday.
Haha, food, yes. Do you bring lunch or buy it?
I usually bring mine from home. I make a simple salad or a sandwich in the morning.
Wow, you make eggs and prepare lunch in the morning? Sarah, your mornings are incredibly productive.
I wake up early, remember? It all connects. Buying lunch every day adds up quickly. It is much cheaper to bring your own.
That is very true. I'm not that organized in the mornings, so I usually go to a small cafe near the office.
Is it good?
Really good, actually. And I like to walk there. Just 10 minutes outside, away from the desk, away from the screen. It resets your head.
Yes, that midday walk is so important. A lot of people skip it and wonder why they feel foggy all afternoon.
Exactly. And speaking of the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, something happens to me.
The 3 o'clock crash.
Yes, my eyes feel heavy, my brain slows down, everything takes longer.
Same. It is so real. What do you do?
Sometimes another coffee, sometimes green tea, actually. Tea is gentler, and a small snack, maybe an apple or something to eat.
An apple. Healthy. I usually have a small snack too, something light. Then I push through to 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, the best moment of the entire workday.
Yes, everything stops and you can finally go home. I take the bus back, and by that point, I am genuinely tired. I just sit and look out the window.
The tired bus stare. Everyone on public transport knows that look. Haha. I drive home and the traffic is bad again, obviously.
Oh no, evening traffic too?
Yes, but honestly, I do not mind as much going home because I'm going home. Home is the destination, and that makes it okay.
That is a lovely way to think about it, actually. Okay, you walk through your front door. What is the very first thing you do?
Put down my bag, put down my keys, and say hello to my cat.
Oh, you have a cat?
Yes, her name is Bella. She is very important. What about you?
I say hello to my dog. His name is Cooper. He is absolutely thrilled to see me every single day without fail.
Wow, dogs are so enthusiastic. How does Cooper greet you?
He jumps, he spins in circles, his whole body is wagging. You would think I had been gone for a year.
Bella is a little different. She looks at me from across the room, very slowly. Then she blinks.
What does that mean?
It means, hello, now feed me. You're late.
Cats are completely their own bosses.
Bella is absolutely the boss of my home. I pay the rent, but she runs the place.
Okay, after greeting the pets, what next?
Change my clothes immediately. This is not optional. Work clothes come off and comfortable clothes go on. It's like a signal to my brain that the workday is truly over.
Yes, me too. The moment I put on something comfortable, it's like exhaling after a long day. Everything relaxes.
Exactly. And then dinner time. Do you cook, John? I try. I'm not a great cook, I'll be honest.
What happens when you try?
Things get burned. Haha. I once burned rice, and I still don't fully understand how. Rice just needs water and time. I managed to burn it.
Oh no, John. What do you usually eat for dinner then?
I make very simple things. Pasta with a basic sauce, eggs because eggs are very hard to ruin, or sometimes I order food online. Pizza mainly.
Pizza is actually a very solid dinner choice. I like cooking though. I find it genuinely relaxing after a busy day.
Really? The cutting and the stirring and the timing of everything?
Yes, I put on some music, I chop vegetables, I make something warm and simple, soup or pasta usually. It feels like a nice, creative end to the day.
That sounds really lovely and very different from my burnt rice situation.
After dinner, it's maybe 7 or 7:30. What does the rest of your evening look like?
I clean up the kitchen, which honestly takes longer than the cooking because of the mess I made. Then I sit on my sofa with Bella and I watch something.
What kind of things do you watch?
Comedies mostly, funny shows that make me laugh. After a long day, I really need to laugh. It's genuinely the best medicine.
That is so true. Laughing at the end of the day just releases all the tension. I switch between reading and watching. Depends on how tired I am.
What do you read? I love stories, fiction mostly. Getting lost in someone else's world for 30 minutes before sleep is wonderful. And I take Cooper out for his evening walk. Oh yes, the dog walk. Is it nice in the evening?
It is so nice, actually. The neighborhood is quiet, the air is cool, and I just walk slowly and let my mind rest. Sometimes I look up at the stars.
That sounds genuinely peaceful. Bella obviously does not require walks. She requires nothing from me except food and occasionally my lap.
So when do you go to bed?
Late. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Usually around 11:30 or sometimes midnight.
Midnight, John.
I know. I watch one more episode of something or I scroll for a bit and then suddenly it's midnight and I'm confused about how that happened.
And then the morning comes and the alarm goes off and you wonder why you are tired.
It's a complete circle. A very tired circle. What about you?
I go to bed at 10, early, I know, but I wake up early, so it works out.
10 o'clock. Wow, that is very disciplined.
I brush my teeth, I read in bed for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm asleep very quickly. My body just knows the routine now.
That's actually the power of a consistent routine right there. Your body learns the pattern and everything just flows.
Exactly. Your brain starts preparing for sleep before you even get into bed because it recognizes the signals.
I need to work on my signals. My signals currently say, watch one more episode, check this notification, read this article.
I mean, maybe start with one small change. Put the phone in another room 30 minutes before bed. It genuinely helps.
That is actually a very practical tip and very current too. So many people are talking about phone-free wind-down routines right now.
Yes, it's a real trend, and for good reason. The screen light and the constant stimulation make it so hard for your brain to slow down.
Okay, so we've gone through an entire day, from the alarm clock all the way to lights out.
We have covered so much: morning coffee, the commute, the workday, lunch breaks, evening routines, pets, cooking disasters.
Please do not remind me about the rice.
It was a great conversation, though. I loved hearing about your day, John.
And I loved hearing about yours. You and Cooper have a very lovely life.
And you and Bella have a very entertaining one.
That's a kind way to put it. Okay, we have a pinned comment for our listeners today.
Yes, in the comments below, please tell us, hop over to that comment and reply. We genuinely love reading your comments, every single one, so please write to us.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Native English Stories, and share it with friends who are learning English.
Your support means everything to us, and it helps us keep making these episodes for you.
And don't forget to tell us about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, and see you in the next one.